He's V, and he's also this.
Jesus, man.
You have to believe yourself. Calling someone... that's the fastest way you can cancel it.
Yeah, that's fine. You can call me.
Okay, but that's fine for you, but maybe it's not fine for them. So you shouldn't.
Yeah, maybe it's not fine for Hugo Weaving.
I'm just
So
saying.
let's get him on the show. Let's ask him.
I don't want to see. Oh, that would be the coolest thing ever.
Of course, it's a women's podcast. Of course,
Oh, okay, Mr. Sexist Man. What? Women aren't allowed to have podcasts in this world?
It's not sexist.
Are you telling them they belong in another industry?
In fact, I am not. I'm saying it's very. What's the word?
We get it, Deion. First, you let them vote, and now this happened. Obviously, we get what you're saying. Now it's wrong what you're saying, and it's terrible, and we need to convince you otherwise.
Shut the fuck up.
He attempted to set up his first killing a la Dexter.
Was he a white man?
He fucked it up.
Was he a white man?
Oh, yeah.
Yes or no?
He was Canadian.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a white man. I thought so.
He's Canadian.
Canadian people can be white. You know that, Nick.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, he was specifically white.
Does being American make you less white because America is the
It's very diverse
pot?
at this point.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to choose to seclude myself from this part of the podcast. I'm already in hot enough water as it is.
Having been repeatedly pounded in the butt by Wordle myself, I can verify this book's authenticity.
I swear to God, if that's a verified purchase,
Matt.
I will rage quit so hard.
I need to be off this topic so hard. We literally have all topics, and we definitely have no pizza. Can we please, for the love of God, move on?
Welcome to All Topics No Pizza. We start with a single idea, then we go off rails, and then we have no idea what's going on. I am Matt, also known as Rhuminus.
I'm always Deion. I wish more than anything else I could be everyone else sometimes.
WORDLE. What's that spell? Misery. I'm playing it every single day and night, and I wish I could fucking stop it. Stop posting about Wordle. Nobody gives a shit. Fucking stop it. I hate seeing it every day. It's a compulsion at this point. It's ruining my life. Anyway, guys, how's your week?
I have a friend who's
ironic
really good.
that he just posted about Wordle.
Yeah, exactly, and he's been playing it every day for 2 weeks. It's all
your fault, Deion.
It's fun. It's a little brain teaser that you can talk about with your friend. I like it because it's basically like, without realizing it, when you start asking your friends about it, and if they start playing with you, it's like, hey, how smart are you? You smarter than me? Show me. Show me. I'll show you. And it's like I get mad when my friends get it in less words than me. Like, how dare you?
Are you smarter than me?
The next Mensa test, obviously, is going to be Wordle.
Well, you must be smarter than me because you guessed the Wordle of the day in fewer guesses. And that's just not acceptable. So we're going to have to put you into the ground, Sonny. And then Deion approaches me in his leather jacket with a fucking switchblade, stabs me 9 times.
This got so dark so fast.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's what this will become. Just like the 2048 wars of 2017.
I don't remember 2048 being that serious. I remember playing 2048, and I would be like, I kept it to myself though. I don't remember people being
I still play 2048.
I could get into it, but it's not like after I got like 16,000 or whatever it is.
Figure that one out.
Sorry, yeah, 2048.
So I was the hipster who played, I think it's called K, which is the letter version of 2048.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was just better at it than 2048.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
It was very strange. Like, I'm not as good at 2048 as I am at the letter version.
There were some. Okay, I don't understand this because there was a Shrek version, right, of 2048. There was there were a dozen different versions where they just combined.
I'm sure
images.
there was,
but the one that bothered me the most was there was a Shrek version because for a period of time, and I'm not sure that period is over. Shrek permeated every available like media that exists.
No, yeah, it still happens.
I don't understand the obsession with Shrek. I don't understand.
Because Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
I hate it so much.
So actually,
I think it's just a memeable movie.
It's a twofold thing. So Shrek is a decent movie. The first,
it's not about it being a good movie.
No.
Matt,
Hold on. Allow me to pontificate.
I'm talking to Matt because this is the thing, and I'm gonna let you. But it's not just that it's a good movie because no one ever talks about the fucking movie. They just
and that's
Shrek into things.
I'm saying, like, I think it's a meme. It's like SpongeBob. SpongeBob is now just a meme at this point.
So Shrek 1 is a passable movie. It's decently made. It came out at a time where it looked really good. Like, it's good. The second movie is alright. The third movie is take it or leave it. Some people like it. I don't like it. The fourth movie is absolutely terrible.
The's not a
in
fourth
my
movie.
opinion. There is a fourth movie.
Stop.
I think there's a fifth one, dude.
I think there's supposed to be a fifth one coming out.
Why?
I remember when I don't remember this. I know this from trivia. When Shrek was just the side project that you got relegated to if you couldn't cut it with the big project.
So the thing is, it just kind of got baked into the childhood of so many people. When Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life came out on the internet, it resurfaced this entity from our childhood that was just good enough to be memorable.
And I can't form words, but it makes me so upset.
First of all, I hate acting like we're big brain on memes. Because at the end of the day, nobody gives a shit.
The only people that are big brain on memes are Know Your Meme, who seemingly have...
And deep-baked memes.
No, I think that Know Your Meme is going to become one of the most important historical documents.
Oh, it'll be a Rosetta Stone at some point.
because it's not, you can't comprehend. I use Know Your Meme on like a monthly basis, like straight up, like what is this? What is happening?
What are we saying these days?
So I think I made a joke about hieroglyphs in the last episode that we did.
Yeah.
And Matt, you countered with my nonsense by saying that hieroglyphs were very like localized and personalized, and that's very much what meme culture is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's hieroglyphs 2.0. It's the cycles within cycles. It's history repeating itself. Human communication has been able to break back down into picture plus maybe a couple letters and a weird photo filter. Conveys a sense of ennui that a sentence couldn't.
Yeah, sometimes it is like hieroglyphs because it'll just be like the memes that came back and deep fried, like all of deep fried memes are just pictures with an assumed meaning. You assume your viewer knows what's going on, and if they don't, well, the message wasn't for them, and then it's okay. And I'm so upset.
I'm a part of a
this
meme
one isn't
group.
for you, honey. Just go back to bed.
I'm a part of a meme group on I'm going to show my age here on Facebook. Called, I believe it's Memes So Deep That They've Gone Back to Normal. Let me see if I can find it.
Share something.
Okay,
my brain hurts.
Memes so dank they return to normal.
I hate
this. The first one that comes up is it's the Anakin talking to Padme meme. Anakin face, statement open to interpretation. Padme face, favorable interpretation. Anakin face, lack of reassurance. Padme face, uncertainty. Disquiet. And it's like,
that's just a template.
Yeah.
That's just telling you how to use it.
It's just a template.
It's not, oh shit! I just posted the same one twice.
It is not.
No, this is the same template.
Shit! But like, it's like, this is my favorite because if you don't know about memes and you don't know about where these memes are being generated from, Matt's response to it is correct. This is just a template. Me.
This is just Hugo Weaving.
Is this just the
me.
Same actor?
This is all the same actor?
Yes.
That's
Hugo
incredible.
Weaving. Yep.
I did not know that Agent Smith was fucking V.
Really?
Yeah, and Elrond.
I don't care a shit about Elrond.
Fuck.
It makes sense.
Eat my ass.
Agent Smith is definitely L1, but he's not V. That's crazy. I did not know that.
He's V, and he's also this.
Jesus, man.
You're going to bleep yourself.
So, do I gotta bleep myself, or am I? What's going on?
I mean,
so I'm going to say that
this cross-dressing
should.
It's not going to go over
Yeah,
nicely.
the word, and you can bleep the word every time.
In the words of Nick, well, no one listens to us anyway, so what does it matter?
I mean, fair, but what if one day we will?
This is
for no reason-
future-proofing, Matt. This is
Yeah, that's what I'm
future-proof.
saying. Like, if you calling someone, that's the fastest way you can cancel it.
Nah, that's fine. You can call me.
Okay, but that's fine for you, but maybe it's not fine for them. So you shouldn't.
Yeah, maybe it's
publicize
not
that.
fine for Hugo Weaving.
I'm just
So
saying.
let's get him on the show. Let's ask him.
I don't
Oh,
want to
man.
see. Oh, that would be the coolest thing ever.
So I want to tell you something crazy I learned about this week. Ta-da-da.
Apples.
It's Nick's corner of traumatizing things. Pop up. So I learned about a closed room murder mystery that happened that occurred.
A closed
it was
room
pretty-
murder
pretty
mystery.
I need more understanding than that because I don't know what a closed room murder mystery
a
means.
closed room murder mystery or a closed room murder is a situation where all evidence points to a murder, but no evidence points to anyone having been able to be in the room when the person was murdered.
So someone came into like the ceiling or something?
No,
basically?
like there is literally no possible way another human being could have been in that room at the time of the murder.
Don't they usually just rule that as suicide?
Well, yes, that is one possible outcome, but all evidence points to it having been a murder. And in this case, there was a man who was in a motel room who was found dead on the floor, face down, with a cigarette in between his fingers and a wound on his scrotum that resembled, as the coroner put it, a swift kick. Something like a swift kick must have done it. But nobody was in the room.
But that was just a funny cause of death. Swift kick.
Well, that's exactly but there's no evidence that anybody was in the room when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
No possible way that anybody could have been there to deliver a swift kick to the testes.
Is it now? Again, I trust the coroner on this one, but is it possible that he gave himself a very swift punch to the boys?
So my thought was a swift nick to the testes, but they said based on their findings, he died within 45 seconds of the wound.
Damn.
So he would have had to bleed out pretty much instantly. So
That's not okay.
turns out he was shot, and the wound on his testes was a bullet hole.
Yeah, so we got a swift kick with a bullet.
Was it
Got it.
cover up?
So the coroner, as I understand
replace the entire coroner.
it, stated that the reason he mistook it for a kick or an immense bit of blunt trauma to the testes was because of pliability in the nutsack. and I'm sitting here listening to my podcast going, dear God, could you imagine being in the afterworld screaming at the fucking coroner as it goes, being no, I didn't get kicked, you asshole. It's been 2 years.
Now, Nick, what you should have thought in that moment was, that's enough podcast for today. I'm going to go outside.
Well, so here's the crazy part. It gets weirder.
Oh, of course it does, because these never end. There's never...
But the two women that host the podcast are men.
I'm not gonna yell because someone's asleep.
Stop.
Men.
Of course, it's a women's podcast. Of course,
Oh, okay, Mr. Sexist Man. What? Women aren't allowed to have podcasts in this world?
It's not sexist.
Are you telling them they belong in another industry?
In fact, I am not. I'm saying it's very. What's the word?
We get it, Deion. First, you let them vote, and now this happened. Obviously, we get what you're saying. Now, it's wrong what you're saying, and it's terrible, and we need to convince you otherwise.
Shut the fuck up.
We need to take you to refeminization camp.
For some reason,
where you'll be put into a maid outfit and made to walk around.
It's just, I would not mind wearing.
Do you see this picture of Hugo Weaving? We're gonna make you do that.
That's fine. It's just so typical of women in our society in general to be obsessed with murder mysteries to the point where it's
okay. You live in a society where 95% of the men could kill you on a given day,
and honestly, just might if you meet them at the wrong time of the day.
You're gonna be obsessed with learning how to survive those situations.
But that's not what it is. You know that's not what it is. Because we've all heard this, that what a woman do, like it's like the new stereotype is not that woman. It's like,
I know it's a woman listening to how the murderer cut up his victim and just being like,
yeah, it's the new.
I wouldn't have got caught if I did that.
The new stereotype for women is not that they cook. It's not that they belong in the home. No. The new stereotype for women is that they won't do anything but listen to murder mystery podcasts in their spare time, and not just any murder mysteries, specifically women being murdered podcast.
Well,
it's always like a murder podcast.
9 times out of 10, it is a woman being murdered.
Sure, but it's just like it's always just like, why do you do this? Oh, I have trouble sleeping. I have bad nightmares. Oh, what do you do for bed? I listen to my favorite 3 murder mystery podcasts.
Yeah, I learned about this one guy called the Womb Ripper. Why are you listening to that going to sleep, ma'am?
And I can't even say that this is not true to my personal experience because my partner, bless her soul, loves watching Law and Order SVU on a regular basis.
See, the crazy thing is I hate Law and Order bullshit.
I hate Law and Order too. Women, I love this shit. They love it.
It's some pussy shit.
I hate that show. I hate that show so much.
That shit is terrible.
Got a real man's drink.
Oh, goodness. That's
yeah, you gotta watch Real Man show like Steven's Universe.
Oh, don't get me started.
Or Sabrina, the teenage witchcrafter.
That is some real man shit right there.
Buddy, sure. Dexter was right there waiting for you. What the hell, man?
No, but we can't say Dexter because there's a real serial killer who tried to do Dexter.
That doesn't surprise me. I'm sure there's someone who out there 8 rocks and was like, I'm seeing Universe now. Of course he was.
After he watched the show, he was like, I could do that.
His favorite show is Dexter. And he attempted to set up his first killing a la Dexter.
Was he a white man?
He fucked it up.
Was he a white man?
Oh, yeah.
Yes or no?
He was Canadian.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a white man. I thought so.
He's Canadian.
Canadian people can be white. You know that, Nick.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like he was specifically white. He's especially.
Okay. Especially. Does being American make you less white because America is
it's very diverse pot? At this point.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to choose to seclude myself from this part of the podcast. I'm already hot enough water as it is.
If you know how much genocide has, well, never mind. We're gonna step away because the Native populations have been severely diminished. Yeah. And again, another podcast I've been listening to.
Don't you fucking dare!
No, I'm not gonna get that's if people want to learn about the destruction of native peoples in America and USA and Canada, they could go find another podcast. This is not for that podcast. This is not that podcast. Please go find books. Go find books. Yeah. Look, man, it doesn't matter if it's written by...
Okay,
just
you're being
books.
muted.
Just
you're being
any
muted
books.
so
Any books
hard right now. I wish I knew.
Let me look at my list of dubious...
I wish I knew what note Matt was using to believe you so I can harmonize right now.
Let me go find my list of dubious authors.
You can edit me to be next to him. Oh, that's funny. So,
who's that guy? Who's that Hugo Award nominated porn writer?
I don't know.
Chuck Tingle! It's Chuck Tingle!
I didn't even know there was a thing.
Okay. Hugo nominated author
Where did they make that
Chuck
a thing?
Tingle. With such wonderful books as Not Pounded by Anything While
I don't know what's happening and I'm afraid to ask.
Social Distancing. And The Physical Manifestation of Wordle Pounds My Butt as a slightly frustrating but ultimately rewarding and meditative daily routine.
Did that just come out?
What?
Did that just come out? When did that come out? That had to have come out in the past 5 days. What? That had to have just come out in the past 5 days.
What's happening?
I'll send you the Amazon link, guys.
Do not send me the Amazon link. Just tell me what the release date was. How did you find this? Yeah. I'm deleting the Amazon link. Just tell me. No, I'm not clicking that.
Do not send traffic to that Amazon link. I don't know.
2022?
Stop that.
I feel so bad for anyone that listens to this because it's been like 4 minutes of beep, 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 just straight up.
Hey, Nick. Whatever AI generated text you're on, whatever site this is, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I am reading the description for this book, and none of it, the words themselves outside of this make sense individually.
These are technically
together,
legally English words, but
what
together,
happened?
This is not anything that could be considered
Donald
English.
Trump pounded in the butt by the handsome Russian T-Rex, who also peed on his butt and then blackmailed him with the videos of his butt getting peed on. From Hugo-nominated author Chuck Tingle.
Someone's gonna be like, why did they edit this so heavily? This is gonna be like, risk one.
So this one is a review for the Wordle one. The name is just too long. It's a 5-star review. The review is titled "Accurate Portrayal." Having been repeatedly pounded in the butt by Wordle myself, I can verify this book's authenticity.
I swear to God, if that's a verified purchase,
Matt.
I will rage quit so hard.
I need to be off this topic so hard. We literally have all topics, and we definitely have no pizza. Can we please, for the love of God, move on?
Hold on. Just
this was like getting all mushrooms for me as a topping, and I'm just not loving it.
It says verified purchase that has to be photoshopped. It just has to be. I don't believe it. He's going to post a link to it, and I'm not going to believe it. That's a doctored. It's a fake website. Amazon's been hacked.
Hey, Matt. I'm going to need you to edit what you just said, because what you said is Nick is going to post a link to it, but that's not what it sounded like.
Chuck Tingle presents Scary Stories to Tingle Your Butt, 7 Tales of Gay Terror, Volume 4.
I'm going to start reading Goosebump titles, because that is far better and also just as fucking insane.
Oh, wait a minute. You have like 10 minutes and then you can get like the next one, because that's not today's thing.
No, it is not. I've been working on that Wordle since before the podcast started.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
I almost just doubled over my chair. Oh, shit.
I've been engaged in conversation, look back over it, like, oh, that was interesting. You just get distracted.
I'm like,
okay,
Matt,
okay,
sitting over
no.
here, fingers crossed, brow,
We have to pause.
Neanderthal brow furrowed, staring at the fucking screen.
And you gave him one opportunity, he immediately went dumping on you. Yeah, this is so I have to pause
At
this
what
because
point did I say that was a bad thing?
No one ever says, man, that is the Neanderthals. Really some sexy bitches, right? What are we talking about?
So Matt just shared with us his Wordle screenshot, like not just the graph of what he showed us the full, like he screenshotted his full thing, right? And he was like 2 yellows, all right, yellow, green, 2 greens, right? So he's got 2 yellows in the first word, a green and a yellow in the second word, 2 greens in the third word. He's got 2 solid letters, and then for his fourth word, just says fuck that. Full new letters, try to gain some information. Full whiffs. Full whiffs, all black for the fourth word.
There was a reason for that. I want to see what letters, and that helped deduce it down to.
No, admittly that is a valid method. There's a mode you can choose to play on hard mode in Wordle.
I've seen that. Not doing that.
So I didn't realize. So when I saw that in the settings, I realized I'd been doing that by accident anyway. I don't use, if I have even yellow letters, I'll use them again to try to figure out where they are. If they're yellow, I'll put them in a different spot. But I feel like that's easy mode, because you have to figure out a word that uses the letters you used. And if you're smart, you put them in a different spot if they're yellow and keep them in the same spot if they're green. I feel like that's easy mode, unless you're just trying to figure out which letters are there so that you can make a more informed guess. I guess that makes sense. I don't know how you went from... So, I guess by the time this is released, it won't matter. So, a word of the day at the time that Matt did this was light. He went tried, which gave him 2 letters.
So, I actually just posted this in the Discord so that people that subscribe to it can actually see that.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. And then he went Misty Pinot, full backs. As in, he writes the word backs, 0 on everything.
Yeah, just straight 0% F failure.
I do not know how you went from backs to fight, but that guess saved your fucking life. You almost went full 6-0. You almost didn't get it.
Well, it'll make a little more sense when I post this, because the whole reason of doing that is realizing what letters is going to make a word that ends in a T.
Oh! I forget that you get the keyboard. Having the keyboard honestly really helps.
Yeah, because the keyboard shows the blacked out letters, ones that you used, and it specifically shows ones that are good, and you should use these. So I use backs as a do any of these letters work? No. So that means I'm left with very few letters to try out.
Yeah. So backs, honestly, even though it was a full whiff, gave you a ton of information that made you.
So who's the dumbass now? Phone over to share.
But 6 guesses, my guy. Holy shit! I'm gonna share with you.
So now we gotta post this every day to see who has the best. Because apparently you just slammed your dick on the table trying to do a dick measuring contest. Who was earlier saying he doesn't like to do that because it makes him feel inferior. Well, thanks, man.
Right now, you do have a smaller dick than Matt.
Me?
Yeah.
What is with you, man? Why is everything that comes out of your mouth?
I said you had a larger penis. What?
I know. Why do you gotta dunk on people?
What? I was giving you a compliment. I mean, not that anything beforehand hasn't been a compliment.
I fucking hate you.
I will. He's become a flute again. You know what? This whole episode, he's just a flute. We are talking to a Peruvian flute band over there.
So yeah, so the backs give you a ton of information.
Neanderthal have an ass. Beat your ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something a little different with the question today. So I thought we'd jump into that right now. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Because we're at a good time. We're at a good time.
So, my mom, for Christmas, gave me this thing called Mind Crushers.
Guys, I can't. Guys, please. Every episode.
I don't understand why he's crying. Continue, Nick. Damn,
you really didn't figure that out, you piece of shit?
No.
This fucking dumbass.
So basically, every one of the cards in this box...
so tired.
Every one of the cards in this box has a conversation starter on it. And I figure I'd pick 6 cards.
You're such a stupid piece of shit.
I'd pick 6 cards and y'all can pick one. And we'll do that as a question. So I'm going to read the backs of these cards and you can tell me which one you think will be a most interesting question.
Can you just send them in the Discord chat right now?
We've got one that I don't suggest because I read part of it and I'm not a fan. But it's interesting. So we've got a card called Kyle, a white dude. We've got Father Knows Best. We've got Is Charlie the One? We've got They Turned It Off. We've got Gorilla Island. And we've got the Mind Crusher's Scale of Happiness.
What was the fourth one?
They Turned It Off.
That's my vote. The rest of them, hard pass.
All right. Matt, what do you think?
I concur.
All right.
I can only imagine for similar but different reasons entirely.
All right. Ooh, this one's actually pretty good. I think this one's good. All right. They turned it off. They turned off the internet, guys. No more internet. It's done. Kaput. Gone forever. What the fuck is going to happen to the world now?
Don't know. Gonna kill myself.
What happens when the internet goes kaput?
Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. So many different things.
Yeah, I'm going to be...
It's very close, but very different to The Walking Dead.
The Walking Brain.
Because there's no zombies.
There's a bunch of Rafikis out there just with their cell phones just up in there, trying. Desperately.
There's no zombies.
I sat there for a second. I was like, what do you mean Rafiki? And then you said with their cell phones, and I immediately pictured the fucking Lion King.
So for me, it's like there's no zombies, but there's a ton of Ricks. But I mean that in the Walking Dead way.
Oh, God.
And also in the Rick and Morty way. It's the same guy twice. He thinks he's a Rick in Rick and Morty. He also thinks he's a Rick in The Walking Dead. And he's just trying to tell you how to survive. He's trying so hard.
He's both a Morty and somebody with too much time on their hands.
He's watched every episode of Rick and Morty and every episode of Walking Dead, so he knows he's a Rick. He knows it for sure.
I think people would get way more violent. Because we've created this social filter. We're more used to interacting with each other on the internet and being aggressive with each other on the internet to the point where we're like not as aggressive in person. There's a lot more of like behind the eyes hostility in person.
Oh, I disagree.
I don't believe that because
I disagree.
All it takes because I don't know if you remember back in the day. Usually, all it took is that one person that gets sucked in the mouth, and you went, "No, that's not going to be me. I'm not going to do that." You see how you called him a racial slur, and he got popped in the mouth? I'm not doing that. That was dumb. That was a dumb move.
I think that if we lost the internet, right, internet just turns off, but we still have power. I think we still have power. People just sort of sit in their homes hoping for the best. So I'm gonna run through some scenarios.
Just sitting there, offering sacrifices, killing goats next to their routers and modems.
Can I alter this question just a little bit?
No.
Sure.
What if the internet had gone kaput during quarantine?
Oh no!
Do you remember in the beginning of quarantine when the internet didn't go kaput and people were trampling each other for toilet paper? Mm-hmm. Okay, imagine the internet didn't come back. They would have. Do you remember The Walking Dead? The first few episodes.
See, now I got to The Walking Dead.
No matter every time the internet goes kaput, we low key enter The Walking Dead just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Every time. Tiptoe closer to The Walking Dead.
Every single time. It was actually, it wasn't literal. It was a metaphor for the idiots who mindlessly rely on the internet.
I can actually envision that future where like people are literally roaming around outside with technology held up
looking for a signal,
and they log on to a Wi-Fi signal, and they just start running like feral animals closer to the Wi-Fi signal.
Honestly, Nick, that's a really good idea for a one-off, like one season TV show. Yeah. It's a really solid idea.
Just become real funny. Tribal and just start beating the shit out of whoever has the Wi-Fi signal coming from them.
This is just Highlander. This is Highlander. You just made it Highlander.
It's Highlander, but internet based.
Pretty much.
Nah, see what you do.
And what you do is you watch a bunch of fat, middle-aged old men way out of shape fighting for this thing with no training or experience. Yeah. There can only be one server.
It's just
he's riding
one server.
He's riding Rascal up a hill. You know what you do for that TV show, Deion? You'd change it a little bit. You'd jump it into the future. You'd make it so that humans have basically connected themselves to the digital network with like mind chips. Then have like a virus go out, blow out humanity's minds, and then have them come back as techno zombies that just feast off of Wi-Fi connection. And that's how you get this, The Walking Dead Part 2.
I mean, listen, Nick. The shareholders at Sci-Fi they're not stingy.
Yeah, Sharknado's 1 through 6.
No. So listen, they're not Shark Tank. You can just email them, and they'll send you and they'll write you a check.
I will make you a TV show out of the NFT monkeys.
You can just email
every piece of art in that show will be copy pasted. You won't have to pay anything.
If you just email executives at sci-fi.com, you'll get to them.
Dear executives at sci-fi.com.
Listen, they will write you a check for anything. Dear executives at
sci-fi.bot.
So I think stress would go low, and then people would relax, and the stress would go high again, and it would kind of go that way until we eventually just implode. Because I think people would realize, the internet's down. Oh shit, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You can't order things online. I want food, but I can't go. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna go outside. And then eventually you have to go outside, and then you realize
going outside sucks. Yes.
Going outside sucks. Yes, that it's miserable and it's awful, and the outside world sucks. But then you also realize that, no, I'm not connected to the internet. I don't have access to immediate things at all the times, but also I don't have all these spam calls and spam emails all the time, so that's pretty nice. And then you realize, how am I going to pay my bank, my mortgage now? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to send cat pictures to people?
Man, the internet goes out, all those bank loans just disappear.
They do not. They still, because you said the internet. You did not say data servers get corrupted. Because they still have access to them. They have to just go physically to them.
Yeah, the public internet is different than what's available online. Websites used to just be local.
Right? I think humanity will die without the internet. I'm joking.
I know you're joking. I think that it would take a long time to get used to. Without the internet, I'd have to go. Oh God!
Right?
I would die. I would die. I'd have to go back to work. And I'm just not doing that. I'm just not.
I think we've all figured out that if without the internet, the world would stop turning. It literally.
Well,
it's a series of tubes.
It would go back to turning. It would go back to turning slower.
Without the internet, the Earth would actually be flat. So I'm going to end this episode with another one of these questions that we're not going to answer. I'm just going to read the question and leave you hanging with it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a question called Dog Volcano. Enjoy.
No explanation needed. Got it.
So there's a volcano that spews out dogs instead of lava. Wonderful, adorable dogs who love flying out of the volcano and so are happy to meet you. If you had such a volcano, undeniably the world would be a better place. Anyway, would you rather have a dog volcano or a resolution to the Israeli-Palestine conflict? Good night, everybody. That's the end of the show. Remember, if you want to support us...
it's amazing how much of a flute I just heard.
All right.
And if you want to hear this part, you have to subscribe, which means disobey Nick. You better not edit me out of the unedited parts.
Oh no! Anytime you promote ourselves, I'm absolutely that's amplifying. I'm amplifying the voice by like 3,000%. I'm blowing your ears way out.
So this has been
the last thing that you will ever hear is subscribe to our Patreon.
This has been All Topics No Pizza, the show where you and good night.
Thanks everybody for listening. We started with Wordle and we ended up back at Wordle, which is not how this is supposed to go. This is kind of the opposite, and we, just like you guys, we definitely don't know how we got back here. This is odd. This is definitely not supposed to go, but we hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you next Thursday. If you want to support us, we have a Patreon page. Rhuminus, will upload to YouTube, and I've also published 2 books. You can support us that way as well, if you'd like.
That when Shrek is love... Oops. Hold on. I'm going to send it to you guys so you guys don't have to imagine it. But the audience can imagine it because of the fantastic media format we've chosen.